Good morning, dear students. We were doing organizing chapter and today we are going to do decentralization. This is the last topic of this chapter. First of all, we will understand the meaning of decentralization. Decentralization means delegating authority at all management levels and all departments of the organization to take decisions and appropriate actions on tasks assigned to them. We discussed about delegation. Delegation is between only senior and junior, and delegation of authority is not on permanent basis. But when we are opting for decentralization, it means that we are giving some authority to the middle and lower level managers permanently, and top level management very less interfere in their authority. So otherwise, these decentralization and centralization, they are concepts. We have choice. We can have a centralized authority or we can have decentralized authority in our organization. But a good system in the organization is that we should have a system in which the top level management, they should centralize the main policies and other decisions they should decentralize. So in decentralized organization, while top management have authority to frame policies and take major decisions, middle and lower level managers have authority to take decisions on tasks assigned to them. So they are free to take decisions whatever tasks are assigned to them. For example, in an organization, major decisions on product, line of business, capital investments are made by top management, while marketing manager is authorized to decide on price of the product, distribution channels, method of advertisement, organizing sales campaign. So top management will not interfere in his authority. However, marketing management is required to keep in view the overall policies of the organization. This organization may be regarded as a decentralized one. Centralized is everything is in the control of top level management, but when the organization expands, obviously we need to give some authority to middle and the lower level also. Need of decentralization. Why we should decentralize? As an organization grows in size and complexity, the departmental or branch heads are directly and closely involved with certain operations and are likely to have more knowledge about them as compared to the top management, which may be associated with individual operations only indirectly. So in this way, we have to give them freedom to take decisions because they are more closely involved in these operations. While implementing decentralization policy, we should keep all these points in our mind. Decentralization must always be balanced with centralization in area of major policy decisions. So complete centralization would imply concentration of all decisions making function at the apex of the management hierarchy and find without eliminating the need of a management hierarchy. So we should not have a complete centralization. Centralized things are those which are required. Means the main policies, the main decision making should be in the hands of the top level management. Complete decentralization also should not be there. So it can lead to organization disintegration as the departments may start operating on their own guidelines, which may be contrary to the interest of the organization. So we should, top level management should see that these main things, main decision making should be in their hand, but they should keep the day-to-day work decentralized so that the top, middle and the lower level, they can concentrate, and this will lead to the fast decision making. So they can lead to make the process very fast, and they will feel involved in the decision making. Importance of decentralization. Number one, it seeks to develop initiative in the subordinates because we are making them self-reliant and confident by making them participate in decision making. They are free to take decisions. So there is initiative in the subordinates in this way. Number two, it provides relief to the top level management because our top level management, they are free from decision making. These decisions are taken by the middle and the lower level management, and they can use their productive time in other core areas. Number three, it facilitates quick decision making as the employees are allowing to act independently. They are taking the decisions themselves. They need not to consult with others. So in this way, the decision making will become very fast. Then number 4 is it develops managerial talents for the future. So for example, in future we want to expand our organization. We already have trained and experienced employees, those who are handling the challenging jobs, and we can promote them and give them more responsibility in future. Then number 5 is it facilitates growth of the organization by increasing its productivity and profitability through assigned greater autonomy. Autonomy means freedom to the lower level of the management as well as the divisional or departmental heads. So in this way the organization will also grow, and it will obviously increase the profits. Then last is it facilitates better control by ensuring continuous evaluation of performance of each levels and contribute of each department, so that they can be individually handled accountable for their results. This is very important. You should understand the difference between delegation of authority and decentralization, because when identification will come in case study, you will get confused in these two concepts. See, number 1 is nature. Delegation of authority is compulsory. If a manager thinks that all the work he can do himself, it is not possible. He has to delegate his sum of work to the authority. But decentralization is optional. It is optional. It is a concept. You can either go for centralized or decentralized organization. So it is completely optional for you. Number 2, freedom of action. In delegation of authority, there is less freedom to the subordinates, and all the control is of the senior. Only some authority is given to the subordinates. Decentralization, here greater freedom is given to the lower and the middle level managers. Status. Why delegation of authority is done? Because we want to share the task. And decentralization, because we have opted for decentralization policy, that's why we are decentralizing the organization. Scope, here delegation of authority has a narrow scope and decentralization has a wider scope, and because it is also known as extension of delegation. Decentralization is also known as extension of delegation. Purpose, delegation of authority, its purpose is to lessen the burden of the managers, and decentralization purpose is to increase the role of the subordinates so that they can handle the more difficult jobs independently. Then withdrawal of authority, it is very easy in delegation of authority. Anytime you can withdraw the authority because only 2 people are involved. But in decentralization it is a little difficult because there are many people, lot of levels are involved in decentralization, so it is difficult to withdraw it. Manager, top level management, they have to take a solid decision to withdraw it. This chapter is over. I will be sending one assignment tomorrow. You can take 3-4 days to complete that assignment, and I want you to revise whole chapter so that tomorrow you can attempt the assignment. Thank you. Have a nice day.